Today we're going to practice how to multiply two fractions. The first thing that you have to remember is that you need to actually start out with fractions. So in this case we have just regular fractions, no mixed numbers, no whole numbers. We have two fractions, so we can go ahead and multiply them. And there's actually two ways we can do this. We can go ahead and just multiply and then simplify at the end, or we can simplify before we multiply the numbers. So the first method is just to go ahead and multiply going across. So we have 3 times 2, which is 6, and then 4 times 3, which is 12. Oops. And you notice that 6/12 can actually be simplified. We can divide the numerator and the denominator by 6, and so we will get 1/2 as our answer, and that would be in simplest form. Okay, so that's 1/2. Now the other method would be to take the same problem, and instead of multiplying first, we're going to go ahead and simplify first. So we're going to look in the numerator and denominator and find if we have anything that can, any common factors that can be taken out. In this case, usually we're going to go diagonally. When we do that, we could simplify one fraction, but in this case, both fractions are simplified. So we're going to look diagonally, and we see that we have a 3 and a 3. So we can divide both of those 3's by 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 3 divided by 3 is 1. And then we can do the same thing with the 2 and the 4 because they have a common factor of 2. And I'm just going to write divide by 2 just so that you remember that's what I did. 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 4 divided by 2 is 2. And now I have a very simple multiplication problem, which is 1 times 1 is 1. So my numerator is 1. And then the denominator is 2 times 1 is 2. So you'll see that we got the same answer solving it this way as we did just multiplying and simplifying. So either way that you're comfortable doing that is fine. This method works well when you have large numbers and you don't want to have to do that multiplying and then simplifying. It avoids making some mistakes. The only other thing to show you with multiplication is that sometimes multiplication, we often have mixed numbers or whole numbers, and first, in order to multiply them, you need to change them to fractions, to improper fractions, if they're greater than one whole. So in this case, 1 and 1/2, we have to change that. Since it's a mixed number, we have to change it to an improper fraction. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. So that's 3 over the same denominator, which is 2, times 5, which we want to change that whole number to a fraction, so we put it over 1. So now we have 3/2 times 5 over 1. Then I don't see any common factors that we can simplify out, so we're just going to go ahead and multiply. 3 times 5 is 15. And then 2 times 1 is 2. Now we're left with an improper fraction, so we need to change that to a mixed number for the final answer. And we're going to say 15 divided by 2, which that is 7. 7 with 1 left over, so that will be 7 and 1/2. And so that is multiplying fractions and mixed numbers.